Culture heads, welcome. First of all, first and foremost, Happy New Year. Welcome to 2018 and welcome to the first official Culture News Today podcast. For those of you who don't know, I actually recorded a couple of these episodes the past couple days just to work out the kinks and everything, figure out exactly what I was gonna do, format, everything like that. And I decided, just keep it all the way raw. So just talk about different things going on. So I been doing a lot of work already, even though it's the first. It's technically quote unquote a holiday, but it's still culture news going up, and it's all fun to me. So that's why we're still here doing it all day, every day. Culture News Today. Shout out to everybody that was checking out the videos too. I forget exactly when I started doing them, but we got through so many episodes, got a lot of great feedback on them, and even just a lot of growth and development just from talking about so much culture news. And then from that transition into start doing a lot of traveling and put out a lot of music, a lot of documentaries. So still a lot of that to come. So you already know, man, anthemculture.com, always in the works. So make sure you continue to check that out. Download the official app. Go to any app store. Just search Anthem Culture on there. And so I hope everybody had a great celebration. I hope everybody enjoys their day today. On the first, enjoy the holiday before everybody gets back into the grind, the work week, and take off for the new year. So 2018, we're about to get into it. It's a lot of great content on Anthem Culture. Been flipping through the news feed. It's been a lot of things going on in the world. And so we're about to jump into the site, see what we have new today. The major news, actually, last night I officially put out the Culture in Peru, the album, which is a collection of 7 songs that were inspired and recorded actually while I was out in Lima. I was there for about a month. Been a crazy experience. So let me know your thoughts. I already got some feedback. People were surprised that I actually did an entire song in Spanish. So I sent it to a couple of the people that I know out in Latin America, was hey, is this accurate as far as the lingo goes? And they were yeah, it's actually really, really good, and even just the vibe of it. But that one really was inspired by, I guess it was a club near where I was living out that way. And every night I just heard this rhythm. So that translated into making the beat. And then I was hey, since I've been practicing Spanish, let me give it a whirl. So that's the story behind that one. So it's called Memento. So make sure you check that out on the Culture in Peru album. And let me know what you think about all the other songs. Yeah, it's pretty dope. Even the cover, the photo shoot was actually done from the apartment. It was on the 19th floor, looking out across I had some crazy scenery looking out across the city with mountains in the background and everything. So I was yo, I gotta use this for the album cover. So made it happen. So yeah, make sure you check that out. You can stream it right on anthemculture.com. So right after you finish checking out the news stories, make sure you run that, or you can listen to the album, play it in the background. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. Thanks in advance for checking it out, Culture in Peru album. But yeah, for the time being, let's get into the site, see what cool news stories we have for today. One of the great things actually is I put up the first official story from Guinea-Bissau. I actually didn't know that I'd never put out a story about that country before, but so as I was browsing through and looking for the categories and the tags on the site, it was the first time actually typing it in. So that's pretty cool. So one of the things that they mentioned though in this article was that in the capital city, it's an area called Bissau Velho, which is actually the old Bissau, and a lot of the architecture out this way was actually inspired by, well, I guess influenced by a lot of when it was under colonial control from a bunch of different countries and different rulers and stuff that was had their stronghold in Guinea-Bissau. So a lot of that architecture actually is independent now as of 1974, but a lot of the old architecture is still there. So even just walking through the streets, you see a lot of the old colonial influences. So they're just really just talking about describing the type of architecture that you see out that way, and even just talking about the different laws that are just now starting to change, which we'll start to see a lot of new developments in the architecture out that way. So they have a couple pictures of the type of street views that you'll see out that way, and you can read more about the history even that influenced that way. So make sure you check it out on anthemculture.com as well. So for those of you who are Star Wars fans, you know the latest Star Wars, The Last Jedi, just came out December 15th, 2017. 2017 sounds so long ago now. But December 15th, so it's only been out for like half a month or so. And I think it grossed close to 800 million or more already. But news just came out that out in Scotland, it's a place that they're actually going to be shooting already another movie in the series. And this is actually the first movie in the series that's going to break away from like the regular storyline from all of the prior Star Wars films. So I guess it's going to be like an entirely new characters, new storyline, new scenery, whatever it may be. So part of that is being shot out in Scotland, which is going to be start filming in June. So, you know, they get right to it. That's pretty wild. So they talk about like some of the directors, some of the actors that are going to be out that way, and even like the specific location. It's a place called Rest and Be Thankful, which is an area in between like the Loch Long and Loch Awe. So that's one of the areas. So it's even pictures that you can see on the actual article. So it's like really like mountainous grasslands essentially. So it just makes you wonder like, okay, what's exactly going to be happening in this new Star Wars film? So you can read more about that and check out the pictures on anthemculture.com. Jumping out to Africa, there's actually a video that it's a video news story that came out from the BBC where it's a culture expert. Her name is Patricia Nyanthi, and she talks about various dances out in Zimbabwe as it relates to the culture. So, you know, everybody's heard of the rain dance. So Zimbabwe has their own rendition of the rain dance. So she essentially just describes exactly what the rain dance is, the thinking behind it, and how it influences like their current society where they're at now. So it was actually part of like an entire like historical series about Africa. So you get to check out a video. It's short, it's only like 2 minutes long, and you get to learn the history of the rain dance and other dances that are really popular and well known out in Zimbabwe that are still current today. So make sure you check that out on anthemculture.com. So with the holiday season like wrapping up, out in Wales, they're actually doing something really good. Well, I guess they did something really well. It's a grocery store called Asda, Asda, something like that. But yeah, so everybody wanted to like cook these extravagant meals for like Christmas time, but the grocery store was like stocked and like everybody ran to the store to like get the food. But by the end of the holiday season, you know, they bought so much food and had so much inventory, they actually ended up putting all of this inventory out in the store for free. So they put it out into these grocery carts right in the front of the store with big signs that say free. So, you know, if you're just walking in there, you think it's a prank or something like that. So a couple people were hesitant, but people began to catch on. People began to share the content on social media as far as like, hey, if you want some free food, come to the grocery store and get it. So a lot of people were going there and actually taking it to various homeless people. So a lot of people were actually giving it a lot of praise for the fact that they're not just like throwing the food away, but the fact that they're actually like putting it to good use and sharing it with people that actually need it. So even if you weren't able to have like a great holiday meal, you could still like enjoy some of the fruits and vegetables that are left over. So nothing goes to waste. So shout out to Asda for doing that out in Wales. Lastly, we have for today on the 1st is out in Pakistan. They're actually shooting a film. It's pretty dope. They're shooting a film that's been inspired by the Game of Thrones. So the director, it's really crazy when you're reading it. It says the director was originally like a big like music video director, but he eventually transitioned into like doing films. So now this film is apparently going to be like the largest film to date out in Pakistan. So a lot of it is under wraps, but they have like a lot of names from like the people who are actually going to be involved with it. The director, his name is Bilal Lasari, and yeah, it's based off of a 1982 cult classic, but they put their own modern twist to it. But apparently, like reading through the story, you learn that the original content creator, I forget whether it's the writer or the director, but it's somebody's son who actually ended up suing them and trying to cause some trouble because he said they didn't end up like paying for the rights for it. But all of that got resolved, so shooting was paused for a second, but now it's back on track, so we could look out for that coming up sometime soon. So this is supposed to be one of the major films out that way, so make sure you read more about that and check out some of the photos on anthemculture.com. So all day, every day, you know, we have news stories, more content, more news. We're actually, one of the big news is I'm trying to work on like a day in the life series. I'm thinking about putting out like weekly videos or something like that, maybe like on a weekend or something, just like recapping the entire week. So currently doing some filming like right at this current moment, like while I'm recording this podcast, just to showcase like the daily grind, the daily hustle, just to build up. A lot of people say like, yo, we really want to see like the behind the scenes of Anthem culture, so I'm trying to give that to you guys, and even just like talk you guys through. So let me know how you like this this podcast format versus making the actual like culture news today videos. You know, I'm all ears for a lot of different things, but I'm just a big fan of creating, so I figured this is a great way to just to share the content and even just to talk about and update you guys on everything that's going on. So shout out to everybody that's been like following along Anthem culture all this time, man. You know, it's been a lot of things happening and a lot more in the works, so make sure you stay tuned. Tell a friend, share it with all of your friends, all of your networks and stuff like that. Follow the social media pages. Download the app, man. Everything is right on anthemculture.com if need be. So make sure you continue to check that out. Shout out to all the culture heads. Appreciate culture.